We will be traveling south through the hinterlands to the ruin of Ostagar, on the edges of the Korkari Wilds. The Tevinter Imperium built Ostagar long ago to prevent the Wilders from invading the northern lowlands. It's fitting we make our stand here, even if we face a different foe within that forest. The King's forces have clashed with the Darkspawn several times, but here is where the bulk of the Horde will show itself. There are only a few Grey Wardens within Ferelden at the moment, but all of us are here. This blight must be stopped, here and now. If it spreads to the north, Ferelden will fall.
Ho there, Duncan.
King Cailan, I didn't expect a
royal welcome? I was beginning to worry you'd miss all the fun.
Not if I could help it, Your Majesty.
Then I'll have the mighty Duncan at my side in battle after all. Glorious. The other wardens told me you'd found a promising recruit. I take it this is she?
Allow me to introduce you, Your Majesty.
There's no need to be so formal, Duncan. We'll be shedding blood together after all. Ho there, friend. Might I know your name?
I'm no friend of yours, human lord.
You've got yourself a lively one, Duncan. And I was beginning to think the wardens were all stodgy priests. You are Dalish, are you not? I hear your people possess remarkable skill and honor.
Too bad the same can't be said of yours.
We do sometimes seem experts at fear and treachery, but not always. I tell you this, you are very welcome here. The Grey Wardens will benefit greatly with you amongst them. I'm sorry to cut this short, but I should return to my tent. Loghain waits eagerly to bore me with his strategies.
Your uncle sends his greetings and reminds you that Redcliffe forces could be here in less than a week.
Ha! Eamon just wants in on the glory. We've won 3 battles against these monsters, and tomorrow should be no different.
You sound very confident of that.
Overconfident, some would say. Right, Duncan?
Your Majesty, I'm not certain the Blight can be ended quite as quickly as you might wish.
I'm not even sure this is a true blight. There are plenty of Darkspawn on the field, but alas, we've seen no sign of an archdemon.
Disappointed, Your Majesty?
I'd hoped for a war like in the tales. A king riding with the fabled Grey Wardens against a tainted god. But I suppose this will have to do. I must go before Loghain sends out a search party. Farewell, Grey Wardens.
What the king said is true. They've won several battles against the Darkspawn here.
He didn't seem to take the Darkspawn very seriously.
True. Despite the victories so far, the Darkspawn horde grows larger with each passing day. By now, they look to outnumber us. I know there is an archdemon behind this, but I cannot ask the king to act solely on my feeling.
What would you have him do?
Wait for reinforcements. We sent a call out west to the Grey Wardens of Orlais, but it will be many days before they can join us. Our numbers in Ferelden are too few. We must do what we can, and look to Teyrn Loghain to make up the difference. To that end, we should proceed with the joining ritual without delay.
A hot meal might be nice, first.
I agree. We have until nightfall to begin the ritual. Every recruit must go through a secret ritual we call the Joining in order to become a Grey Warden. The Joining is what will cure you of the suffering your tainted blood surely brings you. If it had been possible, I would have done it before now.
What do you need me to do?
Feel free to explore the camp here as you wish. All I ask is that you do not leave it for the time being. There is another Grey Warden in the camp by the name of Alistair. When you're ready, seek him out and tell him it's time to summon the other recruits. Until then, I have business I must attend to. You may find me at the Grey Warden tent on the other side of this bridge, should you need to.
The Kokari Wilds. It is said that in the midst of the Black Age, when werewolves stalked the lands of Faroe, in numbers that kept every farmholder indoors and a hound at every doorstep, a powerful owl of the Calamari people stood and declared he would put an end to the trend. His awning stood on the border of the dark forest on the southern border of the Faroe Valley, and he claimed that the werewolves used the forest to launch a midnight assault on humanity. For 20 years, his owl led an army of warriors and hounds deep into the forest. In his hunt for the werewolves, he slew not only every wolf he came upon, but also every member of the chastened wilder folk. Any one of them, he said, could harbor a demon inside, and thus be a werewolf in disguise. For 20 years, the forest rang with screams, and the rivers ran red. The tales say that an old chastened woman found her sons all dead at the owl's blades. She pulled one of those very blades from one of the sons' hearts and plunged it into her own chest, cursing the owl's name as she did. Where her blood touched the ground, a mist began to rise. It spread and spread until it was everywhere in the forest. The owl's army became lost, and it is said that they died there. Others say they wander still. The ruins of his awning stand to this day, filled with the ghosts of women waiting eternally for their husbands to return. The forest of that legend is, of course, the Kokari Wilds. There are many legends about the great southern forest as there were shadows, so the saying goes. The chastened wilder folk have made their home there since mankind first came to these lands, and the wildlands spread as far into the south as anyone has ventured. Beyond the mists are vast tracts of snow, white-capped mountains, and entire fields of ice. It is a land too cold for mankind to survive. Yet the chastened eke out an existence even there, and they tell of horrors beyond the wilds that the lowland folk begin to comprehend. The most Ferelden simply ends with the Kokari Wilds. There is nothing beyond. The wild is a land of great trees, wet marshes, and dangerous monsters. What more need be said? From Land of the Wilders by Mother Aelis, Chauncey Scholar. In the year 918 Dragon. King Caelan Theron. I'd hoped for a war like in the tales, a king riding with the fabled Grey Wardens against the tainted god. Son of the legendary King Marek Talon, Caelan was the first Ferelden king born into a land free from foreign rule in 2 generations. Since his father's death, he held the throne alongside his queen, Anora. Loghain MacTair. It takes more than legends to win a battle. Loghain was born a farmer during a time when his country was under foreign occupation. When he was still a boy, he joined the resistance, where his considerable technical genius quickly became apparent. He became close friends with Prince Marek, the last true heir to the Ferelden throne, and together they led the rebels to drive out the force of the Elysian Empire. Marek raised his friend to the nobility, and Loghain is now more of a symbol than a man, represents the Ferelden ideals of hard work and independence. The Chant of Light, the Blight. No matter the power that triumphs, the mages of the winter were men and doomed to die. Then a voice whispered within their hearts, "Shall you surrender your power? Time like the beasts of the fields. You are the lords of the earth. Go forth to claim the empty throne of heaven and be gods." In secret they worked, magic upon magic, all their power and all their vanity. They turned against the veil, until at least it gave way. Above them, a river of light. Before them, the throne of heaven, waiting. Beneath their feet, the footprints of the Maker. And all around them echoed a vast silence. When they took a single step toward the empty throne, a great voice cried out, shaking the very foundations of heaven and earth. And so is the golden city blackened with each step you take in my hall. Marvel at perfection, for it is fleeting. You have brought sin to heaven and doom upon all the world. Violently were they cast down, for no mortal may walk bodily in the realm of dreams, bearing the mark of the crime, bodies so maimed and distorted that none should see them and know them from men. Deep into the earth they fled, away from the light. In darkness eternal they searched for those who had goaded them on. And at least they found their prize, their god, their betrayer, the sleeping dragon Dumat. The taint twisted even the false god, and the whisperer awoke at last, in pain and horror, and led them to wreak havoc on all the nations of the world. The first light. From Trinity's 8. Archdemon, in darkness eternal they searched for those who had goaded them on, but at last they found their prize, the god of the betrayal, the sleeping dragon Dumat. Their taint twisted even the false god, and the whisperer awoke at last, in pain and horror, and led them to wreak havoc upon all the nations of the world. The first blind. From Trinity's 8-7. The false dragon gods of the Devinter Empire lie buried deep within the earth, where they have been imprisoned since the Maker cast them down. No one knows what it is that drives the Darkspawn in the relentless search for the sleeping gods. Perhaps it is instinct, as moths will fly into torch flames. Perhaps there is some remnant of desire for vengeance upon the ones who goaded the mighty Zeus to assault heaven. Whatever the reason, when Darkspawn find one of these ancient dragons, it is immediately afflicted by the taint. It awakens twisted and corrupted, and leads the Darkspawn in a full-scale invasion of the land. A blight.
Maker watch over you, my lady. Maker watch over you, my lady.
Today, 2 units of men arrived every hour, and they expect to double that tomorrow. Still, the Terran worries that may not be enough. The Tower of Ishal is off limits. The men stationed inside are securing it now.
What is the Tower of Ishal?
I think they used it once to watch for wilders coming out of the forest.
Why is the Tower off limits exactly?
By orders of Terran Loghain. The tower is being secured by his men to be used during battle. I'm told they discovered some lower chambers, and they don't know how far down they go, so for now, everyone's to stay out.
Lower chambers?
I didn't see anything like that when I was there, but who knows?
This is a pretty large ruin.
Goes back to the time of the Tevinter Imperium. Dwarven make. That's probably why it's still standing.
I should go.
Make us speed your steps.
Hail, you must be the Grey Warden recruit that Duncan brought. This place hasn't seen such bustle in centuries, I'll wager. Need a hand getting anywhere?
Tell me about Ostagar.
Used to be a fortress long time ago, so I understand. Back in the days when the Wilders used to invade the lowlands. You were just on the eastern side of the ruin. The Tower of Ishal is there, but Tairn Logain's closed it off until the battle. This side is the King's camp. We've got the Grey Wardens here, the Circle of Magi, the Chantry. You can't swing a dead cat without hitting somebody important.
Do I hear dogs barking?
This is Ferelden, isn't it? The King has his kennels on the west side of camp. Stinks from all the hounds. These aren't cute puppies, though. Some of those dogs bite the darkspawn and get too much of that blood in them. It's like poison. Slow, painful death. Terrible.
The Circle of Magi is here?
A few mages, yes. They even brought those creepy quiet fellows, the Tranquil. Gives me the shivers when they talk, all cold and even. They're to the north of here, bunched up with a herd of Templars glaring at them. Can't miss it.
Is there anywhere to get supplies?
Quartermaster, he's just a bit to the northwest.
Where is the King?
Probably in his tent. He and Tairn Logain are on the southwest side of the camp. The King likes to spend time with his soldiers, though. Sometimes even without his bodyguards. Drives Tairn Logain wild, that does.
I want to ask you something else.
Go on, then.
I'm looking for a Grey Warden named Anastasia.
Try heading north. I think he was sent with a message to the mages.
Where is Duncan's tent?
Not far. It's straight ahead, just past the royal encampment. Most of your fellas are in the valley with the army, but the recruits seem to be staying up here for now.
I'll be on my way.
Good luck to you, then.
Ostagar, representing the furthest point of encroachment by the ancient Deventer Imperium into the barbarian lands of the southeast. The fortress of Ostagar was once one of the most important defensive holdings south of the Waking Sea. It stood at the edge of the Kokari Wilds, watching for any sign of invasion by the barbarians known today as the Chasing Lawless. Straddling a narrow pass in the hills, the fortress needed to be bypassed to reach the fertile lowlands to the north, and proved to be exceedingly difficult for the Wilders to attack because of its naturally defensible position. Like most Imperial holdings in the south, Ostagar was abandoned after Plinth's collapse during the First Flight. It was successfully sacked by the Chasing Marauders, and then, as the chasing threat dwindled, following the creation of the Monarch of the nation, fell to ruin completely. It has remained unmanned for 4 centuries, and most of the walls still stand, as does the tall tower of Ishal. Named after the great Archon that ordered its construction, Ostagar remains a testament to the magical power of the Imperium that created it. And proud in folklore and history existed between Chantry's Hollow.
I'm sorry, but the mages must not be interrupted.
The mages must not be interrupted. Their spirits are in the Fade.
The Fade?
The Fade is the realm of dreams and the land of the dead, or so the mages tell us. Regardless, they are not to be disturbed, not even by Grey Wardens.
As you wish.
We stand here in this hour, good folk of Ferelden, and we contemplate the death that may await. Death is no failure, my friends. Should it find you, you will not have failed your king. You will have served your maker. Die in this battle, and when you stand before the Maker in the land beyond the Fade, he shall not find you wanting. Go not into death gladly, but with the knowledge that evil has been held at bay by your spilled blood. And if you go to stand beside the Maker, go with our blessing, for you shall not be forgotten. My friends, let us bow our heads and remember those who have fallen and those who have yet to fall.
Greetings, young lady. You are Duncan's newest recruit, are you not? He's not a man easily impressed. You should be proud. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Wynne, one of the mages summoned by the king.
I am Elaine.
Well met, and good luck to you on the battlefield. To us all, in fact.
Will we be fighting beside the king?
Not precisely. The Grey Wardens will be on the front lines, not the mages. Still, we have our parts to play. To defeat the Darkspawn, we have to work together. It's not an idea everyone seems able to grasp.
Do you know much about Darkspawn?
Some. Do you? Do you know about the connection between them and the Fade, for example?
We call it the Beyond, but I know of no connection.
Anytime your spirit leaves your earthly body, whether it's to dream or to die, it passes into the realm we call the Fade. It's home to many spirits, some benevolent, others far less so. At the heart of the Fade lies the Black City.
So Darkspawn are just dream spirits?
Sadly, no. They are kin to neither the gentle Fade spirits nor the malevolent demons. Shamefully, they were once the souls of men. Some say the Black City was once the seat of the Maker. But when the mages from the Tevinter Imperium found a way into the city, it was tainted with their sin. That taint transformed those men, turning them into twisted reflections of their own hearts. And the Maker cast them back to the Earth, where they became the first Darkspawn. At least that's what the Chant of Light says.
The chant read says many things.
It may be allegory, meant to teach us that our own evil causes human suffering. Or it may be true. It is as good an explanation as any for now.
At least it's something to ponder.
Yes, occasionally it's wise to contemplate one's actions. But I'm certain Duncan has more for you to do than talk to me.
Win. I will not lie motionless in a bed with coverlets up my chin waiting for death to claim me. Win's talent became apparent early on, picking her skill at healing magic. She was well liked by all her mentors and was recognized as an exceptionally gifted student. Even the Templars who watched her could not deny that she represented the best the Circle had to offer. She was an intelligent young woman, possessed a quiet confidence and maturity beyond her years. She spent many years mentoring apprentices within the Circle, and her peers thought so highly of her she was asked to be first enchanter Erwin's successor, but she refused, saying that she had no desire to work in the upper echelons. When word reached the tower of King Canaan's coat of arms, Wynne volunteered to go to Ostagar. The Fade. The study of the Fade is as old as humankind. For so long as men have dreamed, we have walked its twisting paths, sometimes catching a glimpse of the city at its heart, always as close as our own thoughts, and impossibly separated from our world. The Tevinter Imperium once spent vast fortunes of gold, lyrium, and human slaves in an effort to map the terrain of the Fade, an ultimately futile endeavor. Although portions of it belong to powerful spirits, all of the Fade is in constant flux. The Imperium succeeded in finding the disparate and ever-shifting rounds of a dozen demon lords, as well as cataloging a few hundred types of spirits, or they were forced to abandon the project. The relationships of dreamers to the Fade is complex. Even when entering the Fade through the use of lyrium, mortals are not able to control or affect it. Spirits who dwell there, however, can, and, as the chant teaches us, great claw of the spirits that they have neither imagination nor ambition. They create what they see, through the sleeping visitors, building elaborate copies of our cities, people, and events, which, like the reflections in a mirror, ultimately lack context or life of their own. Even the most powerful demons merely plagiarize the worst thoughts and fears of mortals, and build a realm with no other ambition than to taste love. The tranquility and the world of the Fade in human culture, first enchanted justice.
Maker above, hear the prayers of your sons and daughters. We who betrayed your prophet Andraste now beg your forgiveness. Do not abandon us in our darkest hour. Watch over the valiant King Kaelan and guide him as he faces this terrible evil. Watch over Terran Loghain and give him the wisdom to bring us victory against the Scourge of Shadow. Watch over Ferelden, the homeland of Holy Andraste. Keep her people safe from the Darkspawn. Let us bow our heads and offer prayers to the Maker, that he might find us worthy.
Greetings. King Kalen is not in his tent right now?
Tell me about the king. You must see him a lot.
I suppose I do, though he's spending most of his time with the Grey Wardens. He rides with them wherever they go, in fact. Teyrn Loghain sees the king whenever he can and argues with him over coming battles, but the king just waves him off. The king wants to end the Blight with a single huge battle the bards will sing of for centuries. Do you think that's possible?
We'll see in the coming battle.
That's how the Teyrn feels. He'll do what the king wants in the end, though. The king thought it was funny that Teyrn called him reckless, and they fought about the queen.
Do they fight often?
More than usual lately. Good thing the Teyrn's the only one who can speak to the king like that.
I should go.
As you wish. You approach the tent of Teyrn Loghain. State your business.
Tell me about Teyrn Loghain.
How can you not know of Loghain? He helped free Ferelden. He was the brains behind King Maric's armies and drove out those damned Orlesians. King Maric rewarded him by making him a Teyrn. Can you imagine? A commoner became a high nobleman just like that. Without Loghain, you can bet the king wouldn't be winning against these Darkspawn.
Is it Teyrn inside? What is he doing?
He's inside, but I don't think it's my place to discuss his activities.
Surely you can tell me a little about him.
I suppose, as long as we talk quietly. He and the king have been arguing for days. The Teyrn's known the king since he was swaddled, so they don't stand on ceremony. The Teyrn speaks his mind, and the king yells right back. Personally, I think the king should do what Teyrn Loghain tells him. Without the Teyrn, we wouldn't be doing as well here as we are.
I should go.
Very well.
Look carefully, man. This wretched thing is a Darkspawn. They're strong and cunning and smart, but don't listen to those old wives' tales. They can be killed. Stick them with your sword enough, and they go down. Their blood is black as sin and poisonous. Don't even touch it. You get tainted with that blood, and you may as well slit your throat. We've lost many dogs already. Had to muzzle them to keep them from biting. It's a long and painful way to die. Whoa, don't touch the carcass. We'll be burning it so it doesn't infect anything.
Well met, my lady.
How do you do?
Hail to you.
This is supposed to be the battle that sends these Darkspawn back underground. You believe that?
I don't know what to believe. We've won every battle, but there's more of them each time.
Makes you wonder if them Grey Wardens are right.
I don't want to think about that.
Sounds like the perfect time to get drunk, if you ask me. Good night for it, Warden.
I heard the king was even gambling with some of the men down in the valley last night. He's all right, he is.
The last scouting party made it back last night. Barely.
What do you mean?
Only 2 of them made it, and one was minus a leg. Said they encountered some Darkspawn that was 10 feet tall, with horns as long as your arm. The injured one died last night. They said his blood was already turning black.
Maker's breath. Where are they all coming from?
Blessed are they who stand before the corrupt and the wicked, and do not falter. Blessed are the peacekeepers, the champions of the just. I shall not be left to wander the drifting roads of the Fade, for there is no darkness, nor death in the Maker's light. Though all before me is darkness, yet shall the Maker's light be my guide. Though all before me is darkness, yet shall the Maker's light be my guide.
There are lots of Darkspawn, different kinds. We're getting reports of things we've never even heard of. Our short friend here, for instance, is something called a genlog. They're pretty common in the Horde, but we've seen others much larger. We don't know where these new Darkspawn are coming from, or what they can do. All I can say is to use caution. There aren't any we've seen that won't die once they bleed enough.
You approach the tent of Tairn Loghain. State your business.
Is Tairn inside? What is he doing?
He's inside, but I don't think it's my place to discuss his activities.
I would like an audience with Tairn, please.
I suppose you have a message for him. Hold on, then.
Yes, what is it? Oh, you're Duncan's new Grey Warden, I assume.
Yes, I am.
Kaelin's fascination with the Wardens goes beyond the ordinary. Are you aware his father brought your order back to Ferelden?
No, I didn't know that.
Marek respected the Grey Wardens. They have an honored place in the hearts of our people. But Marek would have understood that it takes more than legends to win a battle. Well, that's not an argument I'll repeat here. I see you're a Dalish. Marek knew a Dalish elf once. Never saw an equal with the bow before or since. I suppose you'll be riding into the thick of battle with the rest of your fellows, will you?
I don't know.
If Kaelin has his way, you will. Now I must return to my task. Pray that our king proves amenable to wisdom, if you're the praying sort.
And if he doesn't?
Then simply pray.
It is difficult to separate the man from the myth. The last survivor of the bloodline of King Caelenhead, the Silver Knight Merrick, broke the Elysian forces from Ferelden's bone, reclaimed the throne, and freed our people from foreign tyranny, all true and all larger than life. He was born in hiding near Catal's Crossing to the rebel Queen Mora, and grew up in the rebel camps. An outlaw in his own country, when the rebel queen died, Merrick inherited Rome's nobles, malcontents, and displaced freeholders, and with the aid of its friend Loghain MacDear, rode them into an army. After the pivotal battle of Riverdane, Merrick took the throne. He married Rowan, daughter of Rendon, Garen, Hall of Redcliffe, and began the long, slow process of rebuilding everything where they had demolished, during 70 years of occupation. From Ferelden, folklore and history, existed between Chantry's Scholar.
May the Maker preserve us all. They say the Darkspawn horde has grown larger.
We must see to our hounds. To an Ash warrior, a hound is as much a weapon as a blade.
My respects to you, Grey Warden.
You there,
If you have business
elf,
with the Ash
what's your
Warriors, I
name?
suggest you speak to our commander.
It's Pick, sir. Go tell Tairn Loghain that the war party's ready to begin scouting. We'll send word if we find anything amiss.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Maker's breath, another elf. What do you want?
You have a problem with elves?
Not in particular, except for them being so thin-boned. You make good messengers sometimes. Is there something you wanted? We have no time for idle chatter.
You don't look like the other soldiers in the army.
We aren't. We're Ash Warriors.
What is an Ash Warrior?
Our training has been passed down since Lathias the Dwarf Son first harnessed the battle rage of the dwarves. It is an old tale.
Can I hear this old tale?
I am no bard, but I will do my best. Lathias was a claimed tribesman. Some said he was too short to be a warrior, but he was strong and fierce. His chieftain sent him to the dwarves of Orzammar to negotiate an alliance, where he fell in love with the king's daughter, Skya, and brought her back to his tribe. She taught Lathias to use the dwarven battle wrath to summon his strength and ignore all pain. Lathias then taught this to the Clane, who made him their chieftain.
So you descend from the Clane?
They were simply the first to be taught. Others were inspired by his death to follow his path.
How did he die?
Lathias' prowess earned him the love of Morrigannon, a beautiful chieftain of another tribe. When Skya learned of his seduction, she returned to her people. Lathias was grieved. He sent Morrigannon away, but this only vexed her, and began a long war between their tribes. In the end, Lathias slew Morrigannon in single combat. However, his wounds were great, and he perished when the rage ended. The dwarves came from Orzammar that day and gave Lathias an honored burial in the mountains. And we live by his teachings even today.
What happened to his wife Skya?
It is said that before the final battle, she returned to Lathias and gave him a shirt of dwarven chain, along with a final night of passion. Then she was gone forever. If she lived on in Orzammar, only the dwarven folk could say for certain.
An interesting legend. Thank you for telling me.
It was an honor.
So what does an Ash Warrior do?
We harness the rage inside us, nurture it, and draw it out so we cannot fall in battle until our last foe is slain. It is a dwarven discipline, but we've adapted it to let us fight alongside our hounds. That is our way. I trust my hound with my life, as he trusts me with his.
Is a dog that good in combat?
A trained Mabari hound is as dangerous as any sword. We do not speak of a city pet or those things that sit in an old woman's lap.
What are you preparing for?
To scout the wilds and watch the progression of the Darkspawn horde. With luck, we'll find and slaughter many stragglers. The hunt will be good if my hound survives the blood of his prey. If he dies, I shall mourn tonight.
How's the blood? What do you mean?
Darkspawn blood is poisonous, but not always fatal. Those who survive grow immune to its effects. The Wardens say that tainted blood drives even the survivors mad eventually. But not today. Today, we hunt and we kill.
Wouldn't it be smarter to leave your dogs behind?
They fight at our side. We don't fret over their safety as if they were children.
Why have you painted your dogs?
They use scent to distinguish us from our enemies. But the blood of battle can confuse them. So we paint ourselves with Caddis, which overpowers the blood, and also paint our hounds so they know we are the same.
But if the enemy is painted with Codex as well?
Why? Would you steal our Caddis and give it to the Darkspawn hordes?
Absolutely not.
Good. I hear death is unpleasant.
I should be going.
My thanks. There is hunting to be done, and I'll not be kept from it.
This isn't good. I'd hate to waste such a promising member of the breed. Are you the new warden? I could use some help.
I don't know anything about dogs.
It's not what you know so much as what you are, really. This is a Mabari, smart breed and strong. His owner died in the last battle, and the poor hound swallowed darkspawn blood. I have medicine that might help, but I need him muzzled first.
Just how smart is this dog?
Centuries ago, a mage bred them to be smart and understand what they're told. They can remember and carry out complex orders. Most valuable dogs in the world. Trouble is, they generally imprint to one master. Re-imprinting them is very difficult. But without the medicine, re-imprinting won't be an issue. Will you help?
I'll give it a shot.
Go in the pen and let him smell you. We'll know right away if he'll respond. Let's hope this works. I'd really hate to have to put him down. Well done. Now I can treat the dog properly, poor fella. Come to think of it, are you heading into the wilds anytime soon?
I might be. Why?
There's a particular herb I could use to improve the dog's chances. It's a flower that grows in the swamps here, if I remember. If you happen across it, I could use it. It's very distinctive, all white, with a blood-red centre.
Where in the wilds would I find this flower?
It usually grows in dead wood that collects at the edge of ground pools. Should be plenty this time of year.
Why don't you get it yourself?
The wilds are off limits to non-soldiers, and I have many other hounds under my care.
I'll see if I can find one.
Good. In the meantime, I'll begin treating our poor friend.
Soldiers of Ferelden, my sisters and gentlefolk, we stand here on the eve of battle. Let us consider the evil before us. In their pride, the mages of the ancient Tevinter Imperium sought to open a portal into the heavenly Golden City itself. They tainted it with their sin, and they were cast back into our world as Darkspawn. They are man's sins made flesh, an evil that spreads like an illness across our land. To face them, we must first face the evil within ourselves. Let us bow our heads and beg the Maker's forgiveness. Let us not be proud, so we may take courage against the darkness. I do not have time to speak at present, thank you.
So, any last wishes I can help fulfill before you head into battle? Life is fleeting, you know. That pretty face could be decorating some darkspawn spear this time tomorrow. Too bad. Well, you're not what I thought you'd be.
What did you think I'd be?
Not an elf, yet here you are. The name's Daveth. It's about bloody time you came along. I was beginning to think they cooked this ritual up just for our benefit.
Isn't that a little paranoid?
That depends on what kind of life you've led. Me, I'm perfectly willing to accept that this joining is some kind of punishment. I happened to be sneaking around camp last night, see, and I heard a couple of Grey Wardens talking. So, I listened in for a bit. I'm thinking they plan to send us into the wilds.
So what? That wouldn't frighten me.
Cannibals, beasts, witches, and now Darkspawn. What isn't to be scared of? It's all too secretive for me. Makes my nose twitch. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Like we have a choice.
I'll watch your back if you watch mine.
Oh, I'll watch your back.
Or I could just kill you.
That's a little extreme. It's not like I can miss the scenery, is it? Anyway, I expect it's time to get back to Duncan. That's where I'll be if you need me for anything.
Welcome, young woman.
Who are you?
I am one of the Tranquil, my friend. I am of the Circle of Magi. But instead of casting spells and reading tomes, I spend my time enchanting. It is a time-consuming process, but invaluable. Enchantment provides the Circle its wealth. Certainly we would not get by on charity.
You speak very strangely. Why is that?
Allow me to put it this way. Do you know why those with magical talent are feared?
Not entirely, no.
Those with magical talent attract demons and spirits. We can be possessed easily and thus become horrors known as abominations. Even those with minor talents attract hungry spirits. Anyone with the power may learn blood magic from these demons. Hence, we are considered dangerous. This is our curse. Thus, I was made tranquil, stripped of emotions and talent. I am no longer dangerous.
How is someone made tranquil?
Our forehead is branded with magic, which stills our talent and mind. The process is irreversible as far as I am aware.
It sounds like a horrid practice.
It might seem such to you, but I feel no horror. I am content to serve in my role.
I feel badly for you.
You do? I feel nothing. As the name suggests, my existence is quite peaceful. I am alive, productive, and no danger to anyone. Surely that is not a terrible thing. Perhaps we may speak of something else. Do you need assistance?
What is enchantment exactly?
It is the practice of folding magical lyrium into items first practiced by the dwarves. The Tranquil have learned their runes, and we use them to apply a variety of magical effects. We create the glow lights, as well as the magic staff or the flaming blade. The irony, perhaps, is that it is our very disconnection to our former talents that allows the Tranquil to work with lyrium so. A true mage could not.
What sorts of enchantments are there?
Runes exist that hold the power of the elements that increase strength or swiftness. Almost any spell can be given permanency, given enough skill and lyrium. Naturally, the greater the power required, the more expensive the rune will become to create. True power comes with a price, as we know only too well.
I should go.
Goodbye.
The Tranquil. The Tranquil are the least understood, but most visible members of the Circle. Every city of respectable size boasts a Circle of Magi shop, and every one of these shops is run by a Tranquil proprietor. The name is a misnomer, for they are not tranquil at all, are they? And like inanimate objects that speak. They will wish to sell you an enchanted penknife. It could pass as one of these people. The rides are expressionless, their voice is monotone, incomparable craftsmen it might be, but they are hardly the sort of mages but ordinary folk at ease. From in pursuit of knowledge, she travels with Chantry Scholar, her brother Genetilia. The Mabari Warhound. Dogs are an essential part of Ferelden culture, and no dog is more prized than a Mabari. Breed is as old as myths said to have been bred from the wolves who served Dane, prized for their intelligence and loyalty. These dogs are more than mere weapons or status symbols. The hounds choose their master and pair with them for life. To be the master of a Mabari anywhere in Ferelden is to be recognized instantly as a person of worth. The Mabari are an essential part of Ferelden military strategy. Trained hounds can easily pull knights from horseback and break lines of pikemen, and the sight and sound of a wave of war dogs howling and snarling has been known to cause panic amongst even the most hardened infantry soldiers. The Legend of Lucius Dwarfson. At an early age, Matthias was smaller than most children of the Alamara. At the age of almost 12, Matthias saved Tufa, the son of the tribal chief, from his own dog. The dog had one rabbit, and when it attacked Tufa, Matthias slew it with his bare hands. Tufa's father, Rabin, was impressed with Matthias' strength and bravery, so took him in as his own son. When Matthias grew to manhood, he became known for his charisma and bravery. Though shorter than his fellow warriors, Matthias was stronger and doughtier than any warrior in the tribe. When Matthias was still a young man, Rabin sent him to the dwarven city of Orzammar to negotiate an alliance. Rabin's tribe had come into conflict with other Alamari, and he needed as much help as he could get. Matthias was unable to convince the dwarven king to aid his tribe, but fell in love with the king's daughter, Skea. Matthias and Skea fled the dwarven realm and returned to his tribe. Skea taught Matthias the art of fighting without pain, a berserker state known as the battle ram, and with it, Matthias became a renowned warrior. Matthias led his tribe to many victories, and then eventually he replaced his foster father as chief of his tribe. This peace would not last. During a feast between the tribal leaders of the Alamari and the Avar, the beautiful and powerful Avar chieftain Morriganen became enamored with Matthias and seduced him. Skea learned of the tryst and fled the village to return to Orzammar. When Matthias rebuffed Morriganen's offer of marriage, she left in great anger, and from that moment on, there was war between the two tribes. For 15 years the Alamari and Avar fought. During the Battle of Red Pawns, a powerful young warrior from Morriganen's tribe challenged Matthias to a battle. Matthias was injured grievously, but slew the boy. Morriganen revealed that the boy was Matthias' son, conceived 15 years ago during a tryst. She cursed Matthias as the murderer of his own king, and the Battle of Red Falls turned against Matthias. Morriganen defeated Matthias in battle. After battle, until the Alamari were driven to the foothills of the Frostback Mountain. There, Matthias made a last stand. In the night before Matthias' final battle, Skea came to him and offered him a dwarven suit of chain in exchange for a night together. Matthias agreed and wore the armor the following morning in battle. The battle was fierce and bloody, and Matthias met Morriganen in personal combat. In the end, Matthias slew the warrior woman, not before receiving a mortal wound to his heart, the chain inexplicably unable to block her final blow. Matthias died, and after the battle was done, a party of dwarven warriors came down from the mountain and took the body of Matthias back to Orzammar. In the legend of Matthias' dwarf son, often unrecorded, circa 350 years in the ancient age.
As you desire.
That course of action is inadvisable. You there, elf. Where's my armor? And why are you dressed so preposterously?
How dare you address me so, human?
What? Oh, you're the one who arrived with the Grey Warden. Please, forgive my rudeness. There are so many elves running about, and I've been waiting for... It's simply been so hectic. I never thought... Please, pardon my terrible manners. I am just the quartermaster, a simple man. No one special.
Perhaps you should treat your servants more kindly.
Yes, of course, you're very right. Did you come for some supplies, perhaps?
What kind of supplies do you have?
Arms and armor, for the most part. It's for the King's men, but you Grey Wardens can buy what you need for a modest price. I also have some, goods on the side I can provide. Strictly off the record, of course. To keep morale up, you understand.
Let me see what you have.
Let me know what you'd like.
I do not have time to speak at present, thank you. In the name of Andraste, I bless you today. May you find favor in the Maker's eyes. So let it be.
Those Darkspawn can't be killed. I saw one with no head get right back up.
You may not want to remain here long, Warden. Most of these men have been tainted by the Darkspawn blood.
You need to convince them. We've got to run. The Darkspawn are coming.
There are Grey Wardens here, you know.
The Grey Wardens will die. The King will die. We'll all die.
I apologize, Warden. He's been like this ever since they found him in the wilds.
What's wrong with him?
Aside from his wounds, we're not sure. His blood is untainted. He's just terrified.
You can feel it, can't you? They taint the land, turn it black and sick. Oh, you can feel it inside. They'll come out of that forest and spread. Like caterpillars covering a tree. They'll swallow us whole.
That's quite enough out of you. You need to calm yourself, my good man.
They were everywhere. I saw them. He calls.
Greetings. You must be the third recruit we've heard about.
You've heard about me?
Not a great deal. We've been waiting for your arrival, though. Sir Jury is my name. I hail from Redcliffe, where I served as knight under the command of Arl Eamon. I wasn't aware elves could join the Grey Wardens. Those camped in the valley are all human.
Do you have a problem with that?
No, clearly the Grey Wardens pick their recruits on their merits. I hope we're both lucky enough to eventually join the Wardens. Is it not thrilling to be given that chance?
You're not all that smart, are you?
That's not fair. I listened to tales of the Grey Wardens and dreamt one day I too would ride a griffin into battle against slavering monsters. I know there are no more griffins, and my fantasies were those of a boy, but still, I remember those tales. I never thought I'd be part of them. Tell me, has anyone told you what this joining ritual entails?
You don't like the idea?
I had no idea I'd be tested more than I already had been. I suppose since you're finally here, I'd best get back to Duncan. I shall see you there.
Welcome to the King's camp, my lady.
Ah, I suspect you are one of the new Grey Wardens. Will you accept the Maker's blessing?
You administer blessings to owls, do you?
I merely pass on the Maker's blessings. He looks kindly on all who will receive him.
Does he destroy the homeland of those who will not?
I'll not discuss politics here. Take your hatred and be gone.
Sorry, miss. The army camp is off limits for you right now.
They were all over me, dragging me.
Calm down. You're safe now. Remember that.
Huh. Someone finally comes and talks to the lone prisoner. I don't suppose you've come to sentence me.
You haven't been sentenced.
No. They put someone like me in a cage until someone important has time to decide what to do with me. I don't suppose you have a bit of kindness in you? All I want is food and water. They haven't fed me since I was locked up and I'm starving.
Tell me why you're in there first.
I'm a deserter. Or so they think. I bet there's no arguing them out of it, though. Armies are funny that way.
And I bet you're as innocent as the sunrise.
I wasn't deserting. But when you catch someone sneaking around camp in the middle of the night, what else are you gonna think? Does it matter? All I want is a bit of food and water.
If you weren't deserting, why sneak around the camp?
Oh, I would have deserted eventually. Just not then. I was stealing, not sneaking out of the camp. I got one of those wizards drunk and took his key. It belongs to a chest they got here, full of magical treasures. In fact, I still have it. I can't use it from here, but I'd trade you for some food and water.
You didn't find the key when you were arrested?
I swallowed it. But it's, come back into my possession since then, so to speak.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, well... Do you want the key or not?
I'll see what I can do.
Just ask my guard for his. He's still got some dinner. I saw him put it in his coat.
Lucky dog. You Grey Wardens get to ride with the king while I'm left with the drudgery of guarding this deserter. They should have just hanged him. Put his head on a pike as an example.
Who is this prisoner exactly?
They say he was recruited before the war up in Dinnerham. Probably figured he'd never have to fight if he served the king, right?
Why did he want to desert?
Why does anyone want to desert? Because he thinks he's going to die and he's a bloody coward, that's why. Either that or he's been listening to a bunch of hogwash about how the Darkspawn will drag you off and eat you.
Seems a waste for you to guard him all day.
I can't just let him go, can I? The army will figure out what to do with him. Probably just waiting for someone important to make a decision. Then they'll hang him, I expect. And I can go and do something else.
I had a chat with him, actually.
Don't expect it was an enlightening conversation.
He asked for some food and water.
Did he now? Since nobody sends me nothing to feed him with, the only way we'll get that is if I give him mine.
So you miss one meal. This man could be hanged soon.
All right, all right. I guess the poor fella could stand to have one meal in his belly before he hangs. Don't know why you care. I had nothing to do with it, though. If anyone asks why he's burping, I'm gonna say it was you. Just so you know.
We're all going to die.
So? Brought me some food, have you? I'm so hungry I could faint dead away.
Here's some food.
Much obliged. May Andraste herself rain blessings upon you. And, as I mentioned, here's the key. Use it in good health, huh?
Hush, my dear. You'll only open your wounds if you continue.
It's good to see more elves in the camp.
Well met.
What is it now? Haven't Grey Wardens asked more than enough of the Circle?
I simply came to deliver a message from the revered mother, Sir Mage. She desires your presence.
What her reverence desires is of no concern to me. I am busy helping the Grey Wardens, by the King's orders, I might add.
Should I have asked her to write a note?
Tell her I will not be harassed in this manner.
Yes, I was harassing you by delivering a message.
Your glibness does you no credit.
Here I thought we were getting along so well. I was even going to name one of my children after you. The Grumpy One.
Enough. I will speak to the woman if I must. Get out of my way, fool.
You know, one good thing about the Blight is how it brings people together.
You are a very strange human.
You're not the first to tell me that. Wait, we haven't met, have we? I don't suppose you happen to be another mage?
Would that make your day worse?
Hardly. I just like to know my chances of being turned into a toad at any given moment. Wait, I do know who you are. You're Duncan's new recruit, the Dalish. I should have recognized you right away. I apologize.
How could you recognize me?
Duncan sent word. He spoke quite highly of you. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Alistair, the new Grey Warden. Though I guess you knew that. As the junior member of the Order, I'll be accompanying you when you prepare for the joining.
Nice to meet you. My name is Elaine.
Right, that was the name. You know, it just occurred to me that there have never been many women in the Grey Wardens. I wonder why that is.
Probably because we're too smart for you.
True, but if you're here, what does that make you?
Incredibly unlucky.
Ouch. Anyhow, whenever you're ready, let's get back to Duncan. I imagine he's eager to get things started.
Argument I saw. What was it about?
With the mage. The Circle is here at the King's request, and the Chantry doesn't like that one bit. They just love letting mages know how unwelcome they are, which puts me in a bit of an awkward position. I was once a Templar.
You were a mage hunter?
Not that that's all Templars do, but yes, the Chantry raised me until Duncan recruited me 6 months ago. I'm sure the revered mother meant it as an insult, sending me as her messenger, and the mage picked right up on that. I never would have agreed to deliver it, but Duncan says we're all to cooperate and get along. Apparently they didn't get the same speech.
What about the other recruits?
Davith and Sir Jory are here in the camp. Have you met them?
Yes, both of them.
That makes things easy then. They'll both be back with Duncan by now.
I look forward to traveling with you.
You do? Huh. That's a switch. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, lead on.
Understand. You know, one good thing about the Blight is how it brings people together. Alistair was a novice Templar when Duncan recruited him into the Grey Wardens, or rescued him, as Alistair would say.
Hello again. Is there something you need? Some supplies, perhaps?
Let me see your other goods.
So long as you keep it quiet. Hello again. Is there something you need? Some supplies, perhaps? So long as you keep it quiet.
You found Alistair, did you? Good. I'll assume you're ready to begin preparations. Assuming, of course, that you're quite finished riling up mages, Alistair.
What can I say? The revered mother ambushed me. The way she wields guilt, they should stick her in the army.
She forced you to sass the mage, did she? We cannot afford to antagonize anyone, Alistair. We don't need to give anyone more ammunition against us.
You're right, Duncan. I apologize.
Now then, since you're all here, we can begin. You four will be heading into the Kokari Wilds to perform 2 tasks. The first is to obtain 3 vials of Darkspawn blood, 1 for each recruit.
What do we need Darkspawn blood for?
For the joining itself. I'll explain more once you've returned.
And what's the second task?
There was once a Grey Warden archive in the wilds, abandoned long ago when we could no longer afford to maintain such remote outposts. It has recently come to our attention that some scrolls have been left behind, magically sealed to protect them. Alistair, I want you to retrieve these scrolls if you can.
What kind of scrolls are these?
Old treaties, if you're curious. Promises of support made to the Grey Wardens long ago. They were once considered only formalities. With so many having forgotten their commitments to us, I suspect it may be a good idea to have something to remind them with.
What if they're no longer there?
It's possible the scrolls may have been destroyed or even stolen, though the seal's magic should have protected them. Only a Grey Warden can break such a seal.
I don't understand. Why leave such things in a ruin if they're so valuable?
It was assumed that we would someday return. A great many things were assumed that have not held true.
Is this part of our joining too?
No, but the effort must be made. I have every confidence you are up to the task.
How will we find this archive?
It will be an overgrown ruin by now, but the sealed chest should remain intact. Alistair will guide you to the area you need to search.
Find the archive and 3 vials of blood. Understood.
Watch over your charges, Alistair. Return quickly and safely.
We will.
Then may the Maker watch over your path. I will see you when you return.
What do you need?
Hail! I'm told you all have business in the wilds. The gate's open for you. Just be careful out there. Even a Grey Warden won't be safe in the forest tonight.
Well, if I must. As you desire.
Do you need help? On it.
Direct me. Do adore this.
A bit more dive, please. On it.
Maker!
Dear me, what a mess. Yes? Of course.
Letter to Jogby. My dearest son, it pleases me that you wish to follow in my footsteps and bring the Maker's word to the unenlightened. I wish you had chosen a less dangerous place to do so. Apologies for leaving early for the wild, son, but I wanted to set up camp and get things started. The chastened respect one with survival skills in the wild, so I hope to get a grip on that before you arrive. And maybe establish an agreement with the local tribes that we had friends when you came. When you reach the wild, you'll find it difficult to navigate. I've listed certain landmarks below. If you follow them, they will lead to a location I've scouted out where I've left you some supplies. If you're lost, try to get back to the spot and I'll find you. The landmarks are as follows, beginning at the entrance to the wilds from Ostagar. Look for a tree leaning on a ruined building. Pass under a fallen tree, bridge. Pass a submerged tower on the right. Look between a high ruined arch and a mossy standing stone. Walk along a path of roots and stones. Look for 2 large statues with a chest between them. There you will find our meeting point. I love you, Jogby, my son. I hope to see you soon. Your father, Rigby.
Over here! Who is that? Grey Wardens?
Well, he's not half as dead as he looks, is he?
My scouting band was attacked by Darkspawn. They came out of the ground. Please, help me. I've got to return to camp.
Let's try to bandage him up, at least.
I have bandages in my pack.
Thank you. I've got to get out of here.
Did you hear? An entire patrol of seasoned men killed by Darkspawn.
Calm down, Sir Jory. We'll be fine if we're careful.
Those soldiers were careful, and they were still overwhelmed. How many Darkspawn can the 4 of us slay? A dozen? 100? There's an entire army in these forests.
There are Darkspawn about, but we're in no danger of walking into the bulk of the Horde.
How do you know? I'm not a coward, but this is foolish and reckless. We should go back.
You sound like a coward to me.
I am simply trying to stay alive. You do not see me fleeing, do you?
A bit of fear isn't unnatural, you know. Few relish meeting Darkspawn up close. I know I don't.
Not many humans, maybe.
I know I'm relying on you to protect me. Know this. All Grey Wardens can sense Darkspawn. Whatever their cunning, I guarantee they won't take us by surprise. That's why I'm here.
You see, Sir Knight, we might die, but we'll be warned about it first.
That is reassuring.
That doesn't mean I'm here to make this easy, however. So let's get a move on.
Lovely. I would like a trophy. Ah, good. Oh my.
Here.
What now?
Take that!
As you desire.
Right.
Push them back!
Done.
And how?
All right.
Dead yet?
What's this?
Off I go.
How dare you!
As you wish.
Well, all right.
Let's see. Ha! Brute!
Any last words? On it. We are
What a
that
mess.
awesome.
Well, all right.
On it. Right to the face!
My, what to do? Of course.
Someone call the kennel.
Careful. I'm sensing darkspawn nearby. Best be on your guard.
Well, all right. And so I shall. Oh, I see. As you desire.
Rigby's last will and testament. To whoever finds this note, this is the last will and testament of Rigby the missionary, proud speaker of the Maker's words. I have come to the wilds to speak the chant, fear I will die here at the hands of the Darkspawn. Any vow that I came with to my wife Jeddah. Should the reader of this note feel charitable, I ferry the sealed lockbox in our camp, nestled in a Tevinter ruin in the western reaches of the wilds. It is my word that this lockbox finds my wife and relative, and that it is sealed shut when it reaches you. To my wife and my son, apologize for my work that's taken me from you, but know that I died in service to the Maker. Rigby. Herlock. Taller than the Genlock cousins, the Hurlocks are roughly of human size, but are possessed of considerable strength and constitution. The shock troop of the Darkspawn, a single berserking Hurlock can often be a match for numerous opponents at once. They are known to adorn themselves with roughly carved tattoos to keep track of their kills and deeds, though it is unknown whether or not there is a uniform standard to these markings.
Of course.
What do you know? More Darkspawn about. Prepare for random violence.
Let's be silent now.
If they can't see you, they can't kill you.
There!
Yes?
More of them!
Right to the face!
It's a
Right
fight.
to the face!
How lovely!
My Grey Warden sense is tingling. We're in danger again.
If they can't see you, they can't kill you.
Right.
We must be victorious!
Of course. Let's be silent now.
If they can't see you, they can't kill you.
Ha! Well, all right. And so I shall. Of course.
Right.
Lovely. How dare you!
At your order.
We must be victorious!
Hey, watch it!
Yes. All right, let's go!
Well, if I must. Sensing more darkspawn.
Say your prayers! Dead yet?
At your order.
Time for some
so
fun!
darling.
You need help?
It is.
Do not falter!
Say I didn't warn you!
I shall. As you wish.
Good. As you desire.
Very well.
Lovely.
Oh no, you don't!
What?
What now? So I shall. Away with you!
Going to take a nap. I hope that's...
What a mess. And so I shall.
On it.
Well, all right.
Signs of the Chastened. Chastened barbarians are nothing if not clever. They have hidden markers and signs in the arrangements of stone and rubble along the paths of the wilds. In this way, they mark trails, note places of interest, and even give warning in a way that outsiders cannot understand. Interestingly, these markers are indistinguishable from a regular pile of stones. I have dedicated my time to deciphering these signs, and I believe I am close to a breakthrough. Trail markers seem to point to a hoard or a location used for secret storage among the Chastened. I've only found a portion of the message. However, I think that if I could complete the message, find all of the trail markers, I can find this cache and see what treasure the Chastened have to hide. I found one such marker near this camp, under a fallen tree leaning against the ruins. Each marker seems to point to one or two others. I hear rumors that the Darkspawn Horde is coming. I hope I can find a treasure before it's too late. An excerpt from Ripley's field journal.
Lovely. Of course.
over here.
Oh, is that right?
May I blade straight through!
And so I shall.
Time for some fun! Don't say I didn't warn you!
You adore this. Well, all right. As you desire. Lovely. Of course.
To the deck!
Right!
It's a gusher!
As you desire.
Right to the face! Any last words? Say your prayers!
Farewell letter to Jogby. My dear son Jogby, I fear this is the last letter I will write you. I have had difficulty finding the chasing to bring them the maiden's word. I have, however, seen evidence of their passing. They appear to have left this area in great haste, possibly fleeing the so-called Darkspawn that are rumored to be gathering in the wilds in ever greater numbers. I've left you a weapon, and everything else I can spare, my son. I'll try to find you once I've found a safe place. I only hope that you will be safe. Good luck, we will meet again. If you see her, tell your mother that I love her. Take care of family. Your loving father, Rigby.
Look there. Poor slobs. That just seems so excessive.
Lovely. As you desire.
What's that?
They won't hear a thing.
If they can't see you,
Come,
they can't kill
let's
you.
have a move on.
More Darkspawn. Close by. You know the drill.
What now? Oh, I shall. Lovely. course.
Over here.
Do not falter!
Yes?
Murloc emissaries. Murloc emissaries have also been known to appear during a blight. These darkspawn are the only ones recorded as being capable of human speech and often capable of employing magic.
See there? That's a trap. I would watch out where are you? See there? That's a trap. As you desire. Of course. Lovely. Ha! My, what to do?
Say your prayers! Say your prayers!
All right, let's go!
A pinch of ashes. Going through a book on local myths and legends. The Korkari worlds are rife with legends and myths that have amazed and confounded scholars since the fall of Ostagar in ancient times. One such mystery lies behind the tale of Astia and Nevernar, two young lovers who lived in Ostagar. The legend says that Astia grew up in the company of Gezereth, a spirit of the earth found through an overhang on the bank of a lake in the Korkari wilds. Gezereth began to fancy her, and they spent much of their days together, talking and laughing. Over the years, however, Astia became a woman, began to seek the company of men. When Astia met Nevernar, two fell in love, and Astia hoped to bring her lover to see her spirit friend. But the spirit, angered and jealous, bade her begone. Gezereth told her that she would never see it again until she brought her lover's ashes and sprinkled them over the spot. Astia was horrified, and she fled from the arranged spirit. But she began to miss Gezereth, and on the day Nevernar asked her to marry him, she cut her beloved's throat, burned him, and brought his ashes to Gezereth, knowing that their marriage would forever sever her ties to her dear spirit friend. There were legends among the chastened that Gezereth still haunts that day, and that those who sprinkle the ashes of the deceased over the right spot can summon the spirit, in memory of the contract with its beloved Astia. Gezereth will grant a single wish and then vanish, never to be heard from again. A note is scribbled in the margin beneath the page. Marcus, I think this is real. If you take the ashes I gave you and scatter them over a pile of rock on an overhang overlooking that half-sunken dome, maybe Gezereth will appear and give you a wish. If Better takes you there, I think it's worth a try.
Off I go.
How wonderful.
More Darkspawn. Close by. You know the drill.
If they can't see you, they can't kill you.
On it.
One down!
My word!
Let's have at it! Do not falter! Push them back! Bad day, huh?
And so I shall. Well, all right.
Right.
Time to taste steel.
Any last words?
And
So I shall.
this part takes forever. You asked for it. We must be victorious! All right, let's go!
On it.
Hey, no trouble, my comrades.
Right.
Dear me. It seems I fell down during the fight, didn't I?
Shame. It has often been suggested that the only way for a demon to affect the world of the living is by possessing a living, or once living, body. This is not always true. Indeed, a shade is one such creature. A demon in its true form has adapted to affect the world around it. My hypothesis is this. We already know that many demons become confused when they pass through the veil into our world. They are unable to tell the living from the dead. The very static nature of our universe being confusing to a creature that is accustomed to a physicality defined entirely by emotion and memory. Most demons seek to immediately seize upon anything they perceive as an item, jealously attempting to possess it. And what of those that do not? What of those that encounter no life, fail to possess a body? What of those that are more cautious by their nature? These demons watch, they learn, they envy. In time, such a demon will learn to drain energy from the psyche of those it encounters, just as it did in the pit. Once it has drained enough, it has the power to manifest and will forever after be known as a shade. Such a creature spurns possession, and is set to float through the shadow across its peace of man, preying upon the psyche of any who cross its path. Perhaps it believes itself so in the Fade. There is evidence to believe this is so. The shade will weaken the living by its very proximity. If it focuses its will, it can gain a single target very quickly. Some have been known to assert the minds of a living victim, causing confusion or horror, making the targets ripe for the kill. The tragedy of a shade is perhaps that once it has drained the target hole, its appetite is only heightened by the state. From the journal of former senior enchanter Manius, one said a circular pavane had apostate in the year 920 Dragon.
Direct me. Ha! How dare you!
As you wish. Right away.
Now who's the idiots?
How delightful!
What do you need?
Away with you!
As you wish.
And how?
All right, that's it.
There you go. Why do they bother? Now this should be amusing. Lovely.
As you wish.
Ah,
Right.
Your order.
well, all right.
On it.
Just die already. Okay, done with you now.
So I shall.
The blood.
What a mess. As you desire.
Well, well. What have we here? Are you a vulture, I wonder? A scavenger, poking amidst a corpse whose bones were long since cleaned? Or merely an intruder, come into these darkspawn-filled wilds of mine in search of easy prey? What say you, Scavenger or intruder?
I am neither. The Grey Wardens once owned this tower.
'Tis a tower no longer. The wilds have obviously claimed this desiccated corpse. I have watched your progress for some time. Where do they go, I wondered? Why are they here? And now you disturb ashes none have touched for so long. Why is that?
Don't answer her. She looks chastened, and that means others may be nearby.
Oh, you fear barbarians will swoop down upon you.
Yes, swooping is bad.
She's a witch of the wilds, she is. She'll turn us into toads.
Witch of the wilds. Such idle fancies, those legends. Have you no minds of your own? You there. Women do not frighten like little boys. Tell me your name and I shall tell you mine.
I am Elaine. Pleasure to meet you.
Now that is a proper civil greeting, even here in the wilds. You may call me Morrigan. Shall I guess your purpose? You sought something in that chest? Something that is here no longer?
Here no longer? You stole them, didn't you? You're some kind of sneaky witch thief.
How very eloquent. How does one steal from dead men?
Quite easily, it seems. Those documents are Grey Warden property, and I suggest you return them.
I will not, for 'twas not I who removed them. Invoke a name that means nothing here any longer if you wish. I am not threatened.
Then who removed them?
'Twas my mother, in fact.
Can you take us to her?
There is a sensible request. I like you.
I'd be careful. First it's, I like you, but then zap. Frog time.
She'll put us all in the pot, she will. Just you watch.
If the pot's warmer than this forest, it'd be a nice change.
Follow me then, if it pleases you. Greetings, Mother. I bring before you 4 Grey Wardens who...
I see them, girl. Much as I expected.
Are we supposed to believe you were expecting us?
You are required to do nothing, least of all believe. Shut one's eyes tight or open one's arms wide. Either way, one's a fool.
She's a witch, I tell you. We shouldn't be talking to her.
Quiet, Dareth. If she's really a witch, do you want to make her mad?
There is a smart lad. Sadly irrelevant to the larger scheme of things, but it is not I who decides. Believe what you will. And what of you? Does your elven mind give you a different viewpoint? What do you believe?
I'm not sure what to believe.
A statement that possesses more wisdom than it implies. Be always aware. Or is it oblivious? I can never remember. So much about you is uncertain, and yet I believe. Do I? Why, it seems I do.
So this is a dreaded Witch of the Wilds.
Witch of the Wilds, huh? Morrigan must have told you that. She fancies such tales, though she would never admit it. Oh, how she dances under the moon.
They did not come to listen to your wild tales, Mother.
True, they came for their treaties, yes? And before you begin barking, your precious seal wore off long ago. I have protected these.
You... Oh, you protected them?
And why not? Take them to your Grey Wardens and tell them this Blight's threat is greater than they realize.
How do you know all this?
Do I? Perhaps I am simply an old woman with a penchant for moldy parchments. Oh, do not mind me. You have what you came for.
Time for you to go, then.
Do not be ridiculous, girl. These are your guests.
Oh, very well. I will show you out of the woods. Follow me.
Morrigan, witch of the wild, such idle fancies, those legends. Have you no minds of your own? Of herself, Morrigan says little. She does not deny being a witch of the wilds, but beyond that, everything about her is interesting question. Herlock Alphas. Alpha Herlocks are more intelligent and more skilled pilots, often serving as commanders or even generals.